What's up, my beautiful butterflies? This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. If you enjoy the content, please hit the like and the subscribe button. And to all my day one butterflies, welcome back. I missed you guys so very much. And the reason why I have not been recording is because I have been working. I have been very tired. If you guys remember, I told you I have to get up at 4 a.m. So I just couldn't wait another second. I had to get this video in. I have so many important things to talk about with you guys. I have so many important videos to get out to you guys. And pretty soon I am going to start vlogging, so you guys can get a more personal look at my life and what I do, some of my morning routines, you know, just different things about me. And yeah, I'm very excited to start sharing that with you guys. And this video that I'm going to do today was pretty much inspired to me by Mother's Day. To me, I feel like Mother's Day is not a real holiday, because I feel like every day is Mother's Day. I feel like a mother is a mother every day. I feel like there's different types of moms that should be celebrated, and every day. I was just, you know, Mother's Day was just making me sit back and think about a lot of the parents that are going through things with their children and their ex-husbands or ex-wives, and it's just a really serious thing to think about, because it seriously affects the children. Number one, you know, that's why it's very important for us as, you know, parents to always think about the children first, because their well-being is very important, because they're in their, you know, developmental stage as a young person, and those times in their lives are very important because it plays a big role in their adulthood. And I always tell people that I feel like a lot of their problems in their adulthood stem from some things in their childhood. And how this becomes related to gang stalking, because you guys know that is my thing now. That is my main thing for this channel. I spread gang stalking awareness because it had a lot to do with my awakening. I realized a lot of the things that I went through had to do with gang stalking, and I pretty much take a lot of the things that I went through in my life that I pretty much realized in the end had a lot to do with gang stalking harassment. And I researched different syndromes and tactics in order to share with you guys, to spread awareness and, you know, in attempt to wake everyone up about these things. And hopefully, you know, we could put a possible or near possible end to these things. So guys, I was doing some research and I came across another syndrome and gang stalking tactic, and it is called parental alienation. And before I get into the terms of what parental alienation actually is, I'm going to share with you guys something that I like to call terms of tactics. And this is where I name the different, I'm going to call them character names in the situation. And I'm going to tell you what role they play in the situation. First, we're going to start with the alienator. That is the parent who is alienating the child from the other parent. That's the one who's coming up with all the tactics, going all out to all different lengths to keep the child away from the other parent. Okay, then you have the alienated. That is the parent who is subjected to being severely discredited and criticized. That is the parent who's not able to see the child. Their name's being slandered. They're looked at as the bad deadbeat parent, and they don't really get a chance to prove their case, because their name has been slandered so badly that no one believes them. And this is all, you know, plans from the other parent in order to pull the child away. And then you have, unfortunately, the programmed child. And to me, I never want to say that the parents' feelings are not important, because the parents' feelings are very important. However, the programmed child, to me, is one of the most detrimental outcomes of this situation, because now the child has adopted to the alienator's perspective of the other parent. They decide to fully disassociate themselves from the other parent due to these allegations. This is the child. And a lot of times, due to the programming from a young age to adulthood, once this child turns 18, sometimes due to the severity of the programming, they still decide that they don't want to have anything to do with the other parent. They feel like the words of the parent that they were around the most is most credible, and that's all that matters. Okay, now since I've discussed the terms of the people in the situation, let's just get to the sole definition of parental alienation. And this is where one parent uses different strategies, such as programming, alienating, which is keeping the child away from the parent, and brainwashing, in order to keep the child distant from the other parent, whether it's physically, socially, social media, over the phone, any type of communication, none at all. The constant distance and bashing of the other parent can cause the child later on to fear and resent them, results in hostile and disrespectful behavior toward the parent and possible other family members related to the parent. And I've seen this happen a lot, where the child is pulled away from one side of the family, and when they're on the other side of the family, that parent is constantly bashing the other parent and their family members. And now it's making the child look at everyone on that side of the family a certain way, and it's making them not want to associate themselves with the entire family. And this is not good, guys, because a lot of people have their own personal motives and vendettas for doing these things, and it can sometimes keep the child from missing out on a very good, loving family. Now, I'm not saying, a lot of times when parents go through custody battles that the other parent is always innocent. But in the situation that I'm discussing, as far as gang stalking, some majority of the time it's a little far-fetched. It's a little exaggerated in order to accommodate to the other parent for their own selfish reasons. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Some of the reasons for this, one of the main reasons, they could be going through a divorce or breakup, and that could be one of the main reasons for this type of behavior taking place. More likely from the parent who has an ulterior motive. Now, let's just say you have one parent that's trying to escape an abusive relationship. It doesn't just have to be physical. Or let's say, for instance, they want to leave because the other parent is not faithful and they're cheating on them, and they want to leave. And this the other spouse is not done with them yet. So out of anger of the other person not wanting to be with them anymore, they could possibly be more financially stable, and as revenge, fight to take the child and put all these things into the child's head and to try to turn them against the other parent. And a lot of times that they do this is because they don't want the child to look at them in a bad light, because no child wants to see their parents in a bad light, and no parent wants their child to see them in a bad light. Different types of alienations. One is discrediting your authority and parental discipline. Examples. Let's say, for instance, your child breaks curfew and you put them on some type of punishment. And the other parent comes along and takes them off of punishment and say, well, I just think you were way too hard on them for that. When you really knew in your heart that discipline, not letting them go out with their friends that weekend for the next couple of weekends and make them buckle down and study would be a great, way of punishing them for not doing what they're supposed to do. The grades dropping and you let them go to the mall that weekend, and the other parent, you tell them they can't go to the mall that weekend, and the other parent goes behind your back and lets them go anyway. Things like that. Those are examples of discrediting your authority and your parental discipline towards your child from the other parent. Another type is causing the child to rebel against one parent and gravitate more towards the other parent because they now realize they are getting their way from the parent. That is the effect, of that action. So that means every time the other parent tries to discipline them, they'll run to the other parent, hoping that they will relieve them from the situation. Another is playing victim, pretending to be unaware of the other parent's reason for divorce. When they are the cause, they could be abusive. They could bring infidelity into the relationship. They could be controlling, etc. And they try and make you look bad as a person and tell the child that you're breaking the family up, when in all reality you're just tired of taking the abuse from your spouse. The effect of this action could cause resentment and hostility from the child due to them telling them that you broke the family up. The child can hold a lot of resentment and show hostility towards you because they feel that you're the reason why they are now in a single parent home. This can cause them to want to go and live with the other parent, making them feel that since you broke the family up, that you're the bad parent and they should be living with the other parent. Making mean comments and mocking the other parent or other members of the family. So let's say, for instance, there's some things that happened and your child goes to spend time with the other family and they're bashing you and the other family members, and this is and they're mocking other family members, their situations. It could be serious situations, drug addictions, anything, and the child starts to do it. It's creating a lack of respect. Making false claims and allegations against the other parent. Like I said, no one's perfect. Whether some of the things are true or not, I don't think it's anyone's business to go and tell a child about their parents' past, especially if they've moved on from it and that parent is demonstrating a whole new person and a new form of respect for themselves and demonstrating it to their child. This would implant fear and dislike in the child towards the parent, giving them a whole new perspective on you as a parent. They could have had a great relationship with you, and go spend this time with these people, and they tell them some things they didn't know about you, and it can possibly change the child's whole perspective of you. This can cause them to disrespect you. This can cause automatic gangstalking from your child. Yes. Them telling your child these things and, them holding the resentment and hostility. And this can make them constantly question you, possibly mock you and taunt you about things from your past. This is a form of gangstalking. The gangstalking will also be paired not only from the child, but from the other parent as well. Community slander and discredit as a person and as a parent could be things that you could experience, because sometimes the children, they start to discredit you, and they start to, even sometimes for sympathy and attention. And I'm not, trying to be mean when I say this, but this all comes with the territory of the parental alienation. This is all a part of parental alienation syndrome, and we're going to talk about that later as well. Trying to replace you as a parent with someone else. I've seen this happen before. I've seen people go and get a new girlfriend or boyfriend and try and get their child to gravitate towards them very, very quickly, all in an attempt to irritate the other parent. And I feel that this is so selfish, especially towards the child, because it's already new for the child to be introduced to someone new in your life. Especially, to them, this is confirmation that there's no chance you'll be getting back with their mom or dad. So it's already something that they have to adjust to. And it may take some time. So forcing them up on, your new partner in order to irritate the other parent is very selfish and unfortunate for the child. Getting them to participate in plots and schemes. Getting the new boyfriend, fiance, husband, or wife to participate in their plots and schemes in order to win custody battles and further program the child to want to accept the other person as a parent. This could cause bribing from the newcomer, the new parent or girlfriend or fiance, boyfriend or whatever, buying gifts for the child, taking them out, doing different things with them. Secretly getting them, trying to warm them up and ask them questions about their mom or dad. And these things could be used against the other parent in custody battles. Helping with the custody battle when possibly getting the child to speak negatively towards the other parent in a court of law. This is all a part of the alienated syndrome. This is once the child's mind is totally programmed to where you can actually get them in on the plots and schemes and get them to actually go to court and testify against the parent, whether it's the truth or not. Assist with the alienation process. And what I mean, true or not, it could be something from the parent's past that had nothing to do with the child. The child was nowhere around. It could have been something before the child's time. And someone brings up the past to that child and the child presents it as if they were there. And yes, this does cause a child to lie, because now they realize that they're pleasing the other parent when they do these things and they're getting things out of it. This is a form of gangstalking. And the reason why I say that is because the targeted parent is being harassed due to their awareness. Let's say, for instance, one of the spouses were involved in an occult, some type of, Freemasonry situation or whatever, and one of the spouses are starting to wake up to what's going on. They're waking up to some sort of truth. They're starting to question things that don't seem right around them now. They're becoming aware of the wicked Freemasonic rituals and practices from their spouse. They have, and these people have plans for your children and don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to wake them up. So that's why they try and alienate you from them, so they can perform mind control and brainwashing tactics on the child in hopes of them becoming an elite handler or gang stalker in the future themselves. That's what it is about. All right, let's discuss a lot of the things that happens with alienation syndrome. Some of the things that that will happen during that time. This is pretty much the stage once the child has grown up and developed their own perspective of the parent based on everything that they've heard from the side of the family that's raised them, and everything that they have to say about that parent. They haven't been around them in a while, so they're just going to take everything for what it is. And this is when the child unfairly criticizes the other parent. And this is very unfortunate, because that parent could have had some problems in the past and trying to get themselves together And once this child has reached this state of mind, there's no, it's kind of hard to mend things with the child. By this time, they're probably in high school. They're about, either just entering high school or about to graduate. They're in that teenage rebellious stage. And I'm not saying that the teenage rebellious stage is always bad, but once they're being alienated from from one of their parents going through that stage, it can be, pretty hard to get them to understand what's going on. And at that point, sometimes, unfortunately, they don't want to understand. They're just done with it. The child doesn't have evidence to prove the allegations against the other parent. Hearsay from the opposing parent or their family member. And that's the sad thing. Majority of it is hearsay. It's things that they've heard the aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents on that side of the family, the alienator's side of the family has said about you, and the word is bond. It's just, they're like, that's what it is. And this is who you are because they said that's who you are. And since these are the people that raised me, I'm going to take their word for it. They bought me this, they bought me that, they did this, they did that. They're good people. They couldn't possibly be lying on you. And that's where, you just know the bribing, the kids with the gifts and all that. It's just so unfortunate. The child doesn't have mixed feelings about the other parent. They are all negative. They have a lack of compassion and respect for the other parent. They may, talk down on them, call them names, just treat them like they're not even a parent. Have no empathy for them. They don't care about their current situation. If the other parent is not financially stable at the time and they're going through something, the child will continue to bash. They will not show any type of compassion or remorse. It's just like, oh, you're in this situation, you're nothing. Just like everyone said. And, this puts the parent in a very, very messed up headspace. Especially mentally. It's very hard. Especially when you're trying to do the right thing and mend things with your child. The child claims the negative perspective is of their own, but the alienated parent is sent to program the child with these allegations. They were sent to program their own children. Anyone that's a part of an elite organization or anything like that, they were sent to alienate the child and program them because the other parent is waking up to what's going on. They're targeted. Their parent is targeted. So, now the child is being programmed, which to me, it's like they're being targeted as well because they're about to be, awakened to something, being around that parent. And they don't want that because they want to use this child for something. The child doesn't feel bad about how they treat the alienated parent. The child may use a term or phrase of hate towards the alienated parent that was used by adults on the other side of the family, and it will pertain adult language. The phrase or term that they may use towards the other parent, we're referring to specific situations that may have or have not occurred during the child's memory. It may occur, but the child was a little baby and didn't have any type of acknowledgement of it. Or it may be happened before the baby was even born, but you could have had something going on in your life, that you're changing from. But these people made a mockery out of it, and they made a phrase and term that they, mock you and harass you with, and now your child is doing it. And that's a part of the programming and the brainwashing. The feelings of hate towards the other parent could possibly expand to other family members like grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. On the flip side, as pertains to gangstalking situations, alienated parents of the side of the family, which is on the gangstalking side, could also side with the other parent. Like, okay, let's say for instance the parent that's being targeted, right? There's a good chance that their side of the family could side with the alienator side of the family against them. And you know, that's when the community gang stalking begins. This is where everyone is aware of who you are and they're trying to stop you. Alienator may prevent child from seeing the other parent by saying they're busy or they don't want to spend time with you, trying to make the child, you know, feel as if the other parent doesn't care about them enough to want to have anything to do with them, spend time with them. They may insist that the child's personal belongings stays with them regardless of how much the child spends time with you, which is putting you in a financial situation because now you have to provide extra as if they would let them bring some of the things home. And that's all a part of that plan as well, to keep you in a financial rut. Plan activities the child likes around your custody time so the child doesn't want to come. And I've seen that happen a lot. I've actually personally been through that myself. As far as not with a custody thing, but around a holiday or something where, you know, I'm not with my ex-husband anymore and the kids will be bribed with, you know, something bigger and better in order to make them want to go there. I've seen that happen a lot. And you know, when people use money and gifts and all of that to bribe someone, it's very unfortunate because they're not understanding what type of mind frame that they're developing towards their child. You know, they don't know what role they're playing in their child's mental development. And, you know, their child might grow up thinking that that's how life is. You know, you're always supposed to receive things in order, you know, to do things. It can make them a very selfish person. Constantly breaking custody rules. This is the parent that doesn't care if they want to have the child at that time. They don't care about your custody time. They don't care about taking the child so far out of the state because it would interfere with custody terms and regulations. They just don't care. They feel that especially when it comes to something of the alienated parent's life, the alienated parents, something important in their life, a milestone like their birthday or something like that. They may want the child to come to their birthday dinner and spend time, and this is where the alienator will just say, you know what, you're just not going. Like, sometimes they will just not even make up any more excuses. They will just break the rules and not let the child come. In an attempt to hurt the other parent, but they're hurting the child even more. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when the child's being pulled back and forth, neither parent is hurting more than that child in the middle of it all. Constantly comparing you to the new parent in their life or the one that they, you know, want to act as the child's other parent. And this is the alienator's new boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, fiance, whatever. They're comparing you to these people like they've been in the child's life forever when they just came around, just because they bought them a few gifts, you know, participated in some events and, you know, things like that. They're automatically labeled as the better alternative. And this also puts pressure on the child because while as much as they're trying to convince the other parent that this alternative is better, they're trying to convince the child as well, which is a lot of pressure on the child, especially, you know, them knowing who their other parent is. The alienator may become controlling when it comes to the child's relationship with the other parent, monitoring phone calls, text messages, social media accounts, things of that nature, you know, using it as a controlling tool. Like, if you don't do this, you can't talk to your mom or dad this week, you know, whichever parent. And it's just really sad and childish when, you know, adults act this way, and I really don't like it. Now let's talk about how this affects the kids, because at the end of the day, this is the main, you know, this is one of the main things. And at the end of the day, you know, the child is hurting the most, but at the very end of the day, no one's hurting like the alienated parent, which is the targeted individual, and that child. The alienator is not hurting. They're just happy every time one of their schemes falls through. The child experiences increased anger. All of this frustrates the child so much. They could just grow up and be angry and have anger issues. They could adapt a negative mind frame and behavior that can be passed on to others, like their younger brothers, their younger siblings, brothers, sisters, their younger cousins, friends, people that, their peers that look up to them. They could pass this negative behavior down. They could have a lack of empathy for anyone. They're like, if I have to go through this and I experience this, why should I have any type of empathy and compassion for anyone else? Experts suggest counseling and psychological treatment. And I got that statement about the experts suggesting counseling and psychological treatment from healthline.com. And I knew that was going to come, trying to put the child on medication and get them to be psychologically evaluated due to evil plots and schemes of someone else. It's really sad because it's like they are the ones who, put this into the child's life, and now this child has this alienated parental syndrome, and they're going through all of these changes, and it was nothing of their own. Depending on the age of the child, as far as gang stalking is concerned, respect, honesty, evidence, staying calm, and trying to refrain from lashing out is the best thing that you can do. And this is once the child has reached a certain age, like I was saying, teenage, entering high school or ending high school, going into college or whatever. That's pretty much all you can do. And they're gonna gang stalk you once they get a certain age. If the programming and brainwashing has taken place by the other parent, they are going to gang stalk you about things from your past, whether it happened or not. Majority of the things I can guarantee you, if not all of it, the child was not present when it took place, didn't never know anything about it until it was brought to them. Like I said, respecting your child, being honest with them, showing them evidence if you can to prove your point, and staying calm with them. Don't lash out, because that's what the energies that are causing all of this, that's what they want you to do. I don't want to say that's what your child wants you to do. I'm going to say that's what they want you to do. The child is really, a lot of people say, how can a grown up be programmed and brainwashed? Well, from years and years and years, from childhood to, adulthood. Age has nothing to do with it. It's all about how manipulating a person can be, how strong of an impact that person has on that person. All of that stuff matters. So yeah, guys, I feel that that's the best thing to do. The Freemasonic motives behind this stuff, if someone is involved in an elite, and the main reasons for them alienating the child from the targeted individuals is for rituals, ranking, using children, like trying to get up in higher ranks, using their children as a pawn or as an initiation and a recruitment. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But they want to keep the generation going. So, usually the firstborn child is the one that usually goes through these things the most, usually hits them the most, because that's the one that they're trying to push more towards, the organization. So that's why I made this video, because, Mother's Day really inspired this. It made me think about a lot of parents out there that probably couldn't see their children, whether they were grown up or not, because of this. That you can have some, older kids out there that, and that's the thing too, if they never thought that child would run back to you when they get older, they would never have done the brainwashing and programming to keep them away from you. But I feel that if you, do these things, staying calm and staying honest with the child, showing possible evidence whenever possible, respecting them, showing them love, Now, on the other hand, if the child is, very, very disrespectful and they're not giving you a choice, just keep some distance and pray about it and let God work it out. Don't just keep pushing the issue, because you have to think about yourself as well. And this child is grown now. They're of age now where, I'm not going to say that they're grown, but they're of age enough to know that what disrespect is. So with that being said, don't tolerate disrespect. If they come to you in respect and they have questions, even though they're kind of gang stalking with it, just present your case and do what you got to do and go on. Tell them you love them and go on. And hopefully they'll come around, because they're still young. 18 is very young. That's still a child to me. 18 is very young, and hopefully within time, they'll wake up and see themselves and see what's going on, and everything will be good. So guys, I had to come through and drop this video for you guys. I love you guys so much. You guys don't understand. I really appreciate you. I try to read all of you guys' comments. They mean a lot to me. I have plenty more great videos coming for you guys. I've been very, very tired. I will have a break from work. The schedule's kind of changed, so I will be my days will be cut in half on Friday, so I will most definitely be able to get more videos out now. I have more time to relax at home and get things done. So I love you guys so much, and don't forget to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I think I forgot to say that at the beginning of the video, so check me in the comment section, because I always want to tell you guys to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually, because I love you. And until the next video, peace and love. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Peace.